Sorry about that. It stopped recording for some reason as I was telling the story about my sons and how God asked me if I trust Him with my kids. And I said yes. And He says, "Do you trust me?" He asked me like 4 times, and every time I said yes. And the last time I said, "I have to trust you because I realize I'm not going to get my kids back ever." And I believe my youngest son was like 7 years old when that happened. But that's when I understood God was going to take care of my sons and me. I never had any worries over what my kids done in their life because I knew I had gave them to God. Now the reason why I'm doing this, because when I say I gave my kids to God, a lot of mothers don't understand. You can give your kids to God and you don't have worries over them if you believe what you said to God. I have peace when it comes to my kids. Whatever they do, I can't really say nothing because I gave responsibility for my kids to God. And God will take care of my kids to the day they die. And until they get to that place in the Lord, and this is the first real religious one you're going to hear me talk about, because this is a true testimony. Like I said, I think my youngest son was 14. My oldest was 14. My oldest was 7. My oldest was 14. His brother was 7. He came to my apartment. I didn't even know who he was because there was so much time that had passed. When you don't see your kids like that, and I never got to see my kids like I should. So they were like changing from the last time I might seen them and the last picture I had. Till this day, 'cause the baby is 24. Yes, he's a grown man. I had one image of what he looked like, and he was not the image I saw 2 years ago. I go right to God when it comes to my kids. I don't understand their life, but I do understand this. I'm not the only mother that had to give their children to God. Samson was given to God. His mother gave him to God. There are several stories in the Bible where mothers gave their kids to God, especially like John the Baptist. He was the forerunner for Jesus. So why can't God ask you for your kids and you take one less burden off of you? Like I said, my baby boy is 24. And like I told him, I have no worries because God takes care of y'all. Y'all might not understand it today, but I know God has the hand. God will provide for them, even when they can't provide for themselves. I do not have to worry about my boys or my young men now. And that's been the greatest relief, besides learning not to care what people think about me. I know my truth. People that walk through my truth with me, it depends on what part of the truth you were in. And I heard this from somebody, and I can't tell you who, but the person said, everybody gets a different side of that person. Every individual is different for every person. And people don't really understand that. I might be a mother, but I didn't raise them. I might be a sister, but my brother doesn't know me as the person that I am. I might be a daughter, my mother don't know me as a businesswoman. That's my point. When I gave up some things and gave my life to Christ and take my directions from God, it's hard to do that because people want to say, I know you. You don't know me. I can't even know myself because I change daily. Not like I'm schizophrenic, because what God does for me and teach me how to do, I could never do at the age of 20. I am someone that was a codependent. And the reason why I'm not codependent is God is showing me how to stand on my own 2 feet through everything I've been through for the last year. I had no contact with anyone. I was being mentally, verbally abused by people. I had the local police truly believe I was mentally ill when I wasn't. And to watch this happen to me, yes, I did lose hope. Yes, I wanted to give in because I did not know it was building my character. It was building me up to be the person that I am today. So when people come at me and say, I know you, you know a perception, you know a projection of someone told you about me. The one thing I can say is I'm not gonna be what you want me to be. I know being a codependent was a bad experience. Being mentally abused and verbally abused is even worse than being physically abused. When people are doing things to you when you have no help. It's hard to do things, but I trusted God, and God had more faith in me than I had in Him. Do you hear what I said? God had more faith in me than I had in Him, because I seen people take my human rights away from me, do what they wanted to do, lie on me, just lie, and it was no reason to lie. I have seen how corrupted people can be. And let me be honest, since we're talking about stuff, I do not have any regrets, but I do struggle with unforgiveness. And I know, as a human being, to get blessed, I really need to let that stuff go. And it's so hard to be lied on. It's so hard to watch people misuse you and abuse you, then say, oh, I gotta forgive this, because God will not forgive me if I don't forgive. That's the hardest thing ever. I'm not going to draw this out any longer, but if you have situations in your family, I had to learn through many people that been narcissistically abused or toxic relationships. No contact is the best way. And see, when you come from a toxic family where the situation is just toxic, you can't even try to explain it to anyone in there. All I can say to everyone in my family is, you need to find the real you. And that's all I can say to them, because I am no longer want to take in the toxicity of being verbally abused anymore. I still do it to people, and I pray God will help me with it, but I know that's not supposed to be. I know it's not. If you don't learn anything, learn when God asks you to give Him something, give it to Him, lose all conscious of that thing He asked for. And I mean, when I gave my kids to Him, that was the easiest thing I could do. It does not mean I don't love my sons no more than they should be loved. I love them more than life, but I realized the court lied to me, and I would never get my kids back, because the way it is and the way it still is, I did not have enough money to take care of them. Do I like the idea of what the court did? No, like I said, everyone has their day when they go to see God. They are going to have to answer for that. I cannot answer for people. That is not my job. I can't judge you as a person. The only thing I can judge is your actions, because when you die, that's when you get judged for everything you did. And And see, I have no fear of God. I respect God, and I know I make mistakes. I know I'm not perfect, though I learn to deal with things that I no longer can deal with. I'm not worrying about, am I going to hell? I will find out where I'm going when I die. I know there's a hell. I know demons are real. I know a lot of things. All I know is my relationship with God is the only thing I should be concerned with. That's the only thing I need to be worrying about. Where is your relationship with God? There is only one true God.